Generic greetings and welcome back once again to Airships Conquer the Skies. Today's beverage is a very nice Curiosity Cola, botanically brewed and quite potent indeed. So welcome back to the game. In the previous video we were looking at the Trebuchet, and although there was a very limited testing period, I think overall it was, what's the correct term? Utter garbage, I think, is the overall review on that one. I mean, it will have its uses, I'm sure, but for the applications that we put it through, no, not so much. In this video, we're going to build a defensive structure. We have in the past built the oak and the bamboo, and well, the bamboo is not very good, and the oak is not a very large thing, but it's good enough. And we basically want to build something similar, but a bit bigger. And I also want to focus it on tier 1 technology, so everything's going to be based on tier 1. I might go to tier 2 if necessary, but basically I want to use cannons and mortars and probably aerial charges for denial of the air. And well, let's see what we can create. So I'm going to go with a bank of 3 and then a bank of 3 like that. This is of the cannons here, and I do want 3, I do want to go for 4. Maybe we'll go for 4. I'm not aiming for any particular price. I mean, if it gets 2,000 then that might be a bit too much, but anyway, see how we get on. So these mortars here, you can stack them like so, which is, I think, fairly cool. This is going to be a 100% sort of front towards enemy type of deal, as in we're not going to have much pointing around the back. The whole point of this is just a big wall that fires stuff forward. That's the idea anyway. Whether or not that actually happens, well, the fun's in finding out as always. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the sort of height that I'm looking at. I know these blow up very easily, I think. Yep, explodes easily. So, I mean, if we check out the overlays, we can see filtered text. We can go with explosion damage, and ooh, yeah, that's it's actually not as bad as I thought. It's not it's not absolutely terrible, which I did expect. Anyway, it's going to be quite an open design. The idea is that we're having these sections that if it does blow up, then, well, it's not going to take everything out in one go. So I want maybe those there, those in there, and then these ones. Maybe, you know what, we could probably put it a bit closer. No, we need at least a gap of 1. And although that should probably be about there. Okay, so that is the ammo store for these. Although, do I want to put the ammo store closer? If I do that, and obviously there's nothing at the moment connecting these two, I mean, will that suffice? Potentially. If we just change the overlay to off here and go over to weapons, we can see the cannon takes 1 operator. And, oh, sorry, it says operators 1 crew member, recommended is 2, however, may explode, is flammable, and its reload time of 3.1 seconds. The mortar, I've just realised those are cannons, and those should be obviously mortars, so we're just going to bring them back there. So we're going to have a gap there, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, that's fine. So we've got all of those in, and these are a 3-second reload time. It has reduced accuracy against airships and reduced accuracy if fired from an airship. Naturally, we're not doing, well, at least not firing from an airship. This is, I'm going to guess, not that mobile, for obvious reasons. Okay, so in order to connect these up, we are going to use some basic corridor with ladders. So 1 there, 1 there. We're going to put in maybe a couple going up, and I do want, ideally, a central corridor connecting all of these together, and indeed up to there, and then up to there. And that's connected. We can have 1 connected there, 1 connected there. Actually, we're probably going to have a full run-up like so anyway to connect them all. 1 like that. Those... I'm not a big fan of where that is, actually. Oh, actually, is that okay or not? If that was further forward and the overlay was on, we can see there's a huge amount of damage going to be caused to those, which is obviously something we don't want to do. The idea is that we should be able to navigate through this if one of these goes boom. And, well, I guess that's probably going to happen anyway. That's going to have a crow's nest on this, which is why it's going up. And there we go. So that is pathing. Speaking of pathing, we'll put on the pathing overlay, and that's actually really good. I think that's overkill. I actually do think it's overkill, because the crew can navigate through these forward bits anyway. Yeah, they can go through there anyway, so it's not really an issue. So we have to have that one. We can remove that, because I'm going to put a telescope there. So we're probably going to need that. Let's... oh, actually, can we get a telescope is the question. Let's go to command and crew, and no, we cannot. We can put a cockpit there, though, which I will, just because it seems to be a decent place for it. And then we want a crow's nest up the top. And we'll have... That's good pathing. Pathing is all right around here. Oh, not there, though, apparently. Apparently it has to be there. Yeah, that's acceptable. That's all right in there. That one is fine. That's fine. Those are good as well. Right, so that is, as you can see, all in. We're going to go over to, at the moment anyway, I think maybe just standard barracks. And the barracks will go 1, 2... I'll connect the middle up, actually, so then we know roughly more detail what we need in terms of the connections. And there we go. Like I said, I could squish it so it's a bit closer together, but that's not really my intention. That's actually fine. Probably along there. Yeah, that's probably good as well. You could have those in, why not? I mean, just doubling up on these, because they're not that expensive, these things. Okay, that's now in. Right, so it recommends 44 crew. That's before we've put in supply hatches and other such things. It's quite a tall structure, this thing. Lots of space around it as well. I think we've got enough ammo. We could, if we were so inclined, to have like a repair bay. In terms of armor, it's going to be stone wall, I think. Yeah, we can't go with... Do you want to put stone wall with bricks? I like the bricks. What have we got for the oak? I can't see the outside, sadly. I can always change it. There's brick wall and there's stone wall. We definitely want stone. I think we'll go with that one. Yes, that's fine. I don't think shell armor would be the way forward. So even now, it's actually quite cheap. What have we got for resources? So resources, we haven't got a machine shop, so we could put one of those in, and that would allow for good repair. I mean, how much is it? That's 124. It's actually quite expensive. We've got the steel cargo door, which we can put in... Well, I tend to put it in the middle, out of the way, so if it's on the ground, then that's an easy way in, whereas this is, well, not so much. And that will provide the... How much do we need? Oh, that's 40 supply, and we only need 9. Well, actually, that's not true, because we have yet to put in a bridge, which is going to go in there, I think. Let me just double check the explosion damage. It's actually all right. It's not too bad. Ideally, you want it maybe there. So, I mean, why not? Why would we not place it there? There's no reason why we can't. Let's do that. And let's get in the crew. 1, 2, 3, 4. And do we need... What other crew do we have? We've got the barracks, the bridge, commands every 6 seconds, which is fine. We have pretty much the rest of it sorted, I think. It's just supply hatches, and, well, we actually don't have anywhere to put out a fire, so we are going to put a fire point or 2 in, and I do think it is going to be 2 fire points like that. Okay, so that is in. Anything we need apart from the supply hatches? Steel supply hatch. That would go in there. I'm going to put them up there. And obviously it is a very strange shape. However, we've got lots of solid shapes that we can use. Let me just turn off the overlay here. And like I said, it's all forward facing. It's not... yes, it is all forward facing for my sins. We've got some stained glass here as well, which we could put in like some tall stained glass in places. You've got steel decks. There's different walls, fire doors. I mean, I don't know about that stained glass. I don't know if that's a... The thing is, you can actually navigate through the stained glass, which is a curious thing. It would be nice if that could be turned around, but sadly it cannot. Do we want to just put in like loads of stained glass? Is it going to look absolutely ridiculous? You know what? I actually quite like that. I actually quite like that a fair bit. You can change the colours on it. Yes, you can. Alright. Let's go with the shapes. So solid shapes. And, I mean, we could put, like, large domes on things. But let's just have probably flip that. And that way. We want one there. Flip it round, one there. And I think for these bits here... actually, we'll come back to that. We will come back to that. Is there a nice curve we can put on? No, we're going to use these angled bits, I think. Yeah, we'll use the angled bits. And there's a 4 size, isn't there? So 4 there. And 3. And I know we're going to have the 1 there. And these will probably fill up with just solid blocks. Like that. Okay. And a block goes in there. I don't know if I like this bit at the back. I haven't yet decided. Oh, that's the bit at the bottom, should I say. Haven't yet decided, but let's just continue on building. And that can go maybe 2 there. Flip it. It's going to be 2 there, so it'll be solid fillers, and then I'm just trying to make something not a cube for once, which is very valid criticism for my builds, that they're often very cuboid and not very interesting. Yeah, I don't think that's unfair. That goes in there. I mean, I don't know what... Does it have a... It's got a weird profile, I'll give it that. It's weird, okay? I'm not going to say it's a good profile, it's a weird profile. Back to stained glass then, which is obviously the bastion of defensive materials. Well known for it, obviously. And, I mean, do I want to put these in? I mean, what's that look like? It looks... No, I don't like the colour. We could put large stained glass in there and then just brick the rest up. It'll probably look... Alright. Well, I mean, we'll see, won't we? Filler blocks. And I don't mind it, you know? Okay. So, we have got a legitimate 1,476 cost defensive structure that I know has massive weaknesses. If anything gets around the back, we are absolutely hammered. It's not going to go well. It really isn't. I'm also tempted to put more crew in. The question is, where would it go? There? Yeah, we'd put there. I don't mind over-crewing. Oh. I don't mind over-crewing it. We haven't got a medical bay. We haven't got a machine shop. All of these we can go back in and, you know, sort out. There is fire extinguishers, though, which is tier 1, which I am sadly missing. One can go in there. I'll remove these 2 and have fire extinguishers in like that. Okay. So that's now in. Okay. So we'll have to save it. Oh, we need to name it first. So we're going to have it. We've got the oak. We've got the bamboo. What could we have as this one? So I've gone with the U because no real reason really, I guess. It's just yeah, a similar naming convention of just living stuff that's on the ground. So save that up. That doesn't move, I should point out. In general, anyway, let's go to combat and let's try this out. So we're going to add a building and we're going to add in the U, and naturally we're going to put it right at the back. We can see there is a minimum range for this one, and we're going to add an airship, and it's about 1,000. Oh, sorry, I've went with a land ship here. Add an airship. I'll get there in the end. And let's put this against it. This is 1,498 versus 1,459. That is fairly neutral. So there we go. So we have cannons firing at it. We have how many cannons at the moment? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cannons. Obviously, the other things like the mortars, they're not going to be able to fire. So let's see what happens. I reckon it's going to sit there and basically defeat us. This would be part of a multi-layered defense, I should point out. It's getting a bit close. Will the mortars be able to hit it? No, I know what it's doing. It's getting around the back. Interesting. But it's not able to fire either, right? Okay. It's sitting where it can't fight us and we can't fight it. Well, this is going to be a draw. All right. Well, it's not a loss, but you know, let's try that again, shall we? So we'll put the U in, and it's going to go back there. And this time we're going to go with a land ship, and we'll put in there's the pig, there's the rhino, there's the hippo, which is just terrible and everywhere. The badger, there's the boar. Let's put in the tiger. And we'll give it a little bit extra, so add a land ship. Oh, you know what? Airship. Let's put an airship in that's quite reasonably costed. Let's go with, say, one of these. And there you go. They're a bit overcosted. A couple of hundred overcosted. I had a clunk, and I think this was just it crashing down. Yeah, I don't know if this gap in the bottom is strictly necessary. So we have in... Oh, it's just sitting at the back there, which is totally fine. The enemy airships are coming in and no doubt are going to fly right behind and attack us from the back. I do feel that perhaps some rear defenses are probably worthy, even if it's just rifles. They're actually dropping down into our... I was going to say dead zone, but that's not really the case because they are actually getting shot and the mortars have absolutely crippled them. Following that as well, we have got at the back here, this thing has got round the flank and it is setting us on fire. Yeah, okay, so the mortars are working. The mortars are doing actually very well, but they are now around the back and there's nothing we can do about it. Okay, what's going to happen most likely is it's just going to keep flaming and defeat us there, or it's going to run out of flame. So I'll put it to max speed and let the game just crack on with whatever it needs to do. I'm going to go to aim fire. I think effectively taking them out. However, yeah, having no defense on the back is just a big mistake. I'm going to leave that there and go back to the building editor. Open the design of the U, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to rip all of those out for reasons that may become clear, and you probably guessed it anyway. Over to weapons and to make sure we filter that tier. It is going to be tier 1 only, and it's going to be... They've got muskets, and let's just flip them, and I'm just going to put just a big row of muskets at the back there. What's that actually look like? It's actually okay. It'd be nice if it was a bit more angled, but I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. That can go in there. In fact, to be honest, a lot of these walkways, I could probably remove these and just do that, and that would function perfectly well. And then we just need to put in like these bits. So that's actually a bit cheaper, and now we have some rear-mounted weapons. Save the design. We don't need to go overboard. We just need some sort of deterrent. Speaking of deterrent, I'm going to remove those, and I'm going to put we've got rifles. I'm going to put rifles at the front, like that, because again, they could fire back over. Although, to be fair, rifles are 12, muskets are 5, piercing damage 8, and 160 degrees. Rifles, damage is 5, and maximum range is a lot more. If we were to remove these rifles here, these muskets, and spend just a little bit extra money, look at the arc of fire if something tries to fly over the top. It's only an extra 50, and I think that might be a very valid reason to have that. Okay, let's fight on here, and we're going to add a building. It's going to be the U, once again. That's going to go there. And land ship is going to be... I think we're going to do the same again to see what effect that has. So we'll go airship, and it was the quite reasonably priced... It wasn't creosote, actually, but I'll tell you what. We'll put a creosote in, and we'll also put in a... Where's that little flamer? Oh, there's the baubles of doom. Yeah, they're pretty fun, then. Where is it? It's not here. Where is it? There it is. It's the Pyromaniac. And we'll start. You may have noticed I had options to add in some heroes and villains for the crew there. We're not obviously testing that here. So, their ships are coming in, and we now have 2 rifles pointing forwards, which is good. And there's the mortars. And what I'm really impressed with is the accuracy of the mortars for a start. I mean, most of them are hitting, and this is on just standard normal fire. But also the muzzle velocity. The mortars are just a really, really good deterrent. So there's their flamer gone. We now have this thing here, which is parking in what is very much our dead zone. I'm going to target that. And, yeah, we definitely have a dead zone on this thing, and we can see it's right there. What would we be able to do to fix that? Well, we could add more cannons. We could add some more rifles. I'm not entirely sure what the perfect fix would be. But anyway, I've obviously targeted this thing, and we have burned through about a quarter of our ammunition. And all we're really doing is shooting them with rifles. Now, all that we need to have happen... Oh, yep. Looks like one vessel is split into 2. Yes, all we really need is for a hit. You can see it shooting it with 2 rifles. That's all we've got. All we need is 1 hit. There's the suspendium chamber. There it is there. All we need is for that to be hit once, temporarily go offline, it'll drop down, and then it pretty much dies. Let's see if any of that actually works. Oh, it's victory. Okay. It's a mobile. We took out the engines. Brilliant. Well, that seemed to be a fairly decent fight there. We've got storm going on. Let's go for add a building and the U, and we're going to put that back there. And add in an airship. Now, let's put in... We've got, like, the Vanguard. We've got the Unmatched. Let's put in the Vanguard because, realistically, that's something that we would be facing. We're a little bit underpointed, but here we go. So we'll go and aim fire. Now, this thing is armed with probably my favourite weapon in the game, which is the aerial torpedo. Now, apparently the AI has decided to bring it closer. Sorry, I've put on rapid fire rather than aimed fire. There we go, that's better. And it is obviously yeeting out, that's the technical term, all of these shots. We have rain, which is fires go out on their own, but also lightning strikes. Fires go out their own with lightning, yes. It will cause fires. So here comes the aerial torpedoes. Already at this range, there's a lot of scatter. We are... There we go, sitting at a middling range. Torpedo alert! Oh, I like that! Incoming torpedoes! Yes. Close blast doors and activate defense grid. Not that we have one of those. Okay, this is getting... They're getting very bold now with these aerial torpedoes. If they get within mortar range, they're done for. Okay, they're done for. And the damage is such that... yeah, there we go. Oh, they're trying to get round now. They're trying to get round. That's not going to last long. Yeah. So now... It's lost all of its weapons. And it's victory again. Okay. Alright. Let's go with a lovely, just a snowy winter's dawn. Winter's day. Lovely. And, oh, not on an oasis. I love the selections on here. You can just see, oh, it's a deep forest and a winter's day. Right. So, it is a building. The U, and let's put it against something really tough. Landship, the Titan. Yeah, I think we'd be going a bit too far. 1,551 versus 4,000. Well, you know what? Let's put another one of our U's in. So we have 2 U's. That brings us up to a total of 3,102 as opposed to their 4,872. They're still overpointed by 1,700 and change, I think. So let's see what happens. So I'm not going to go... Actually, no, I am going to go on aimed fire for both of these things. And, well, we'll see what it does. So it is, at the moment, very happy to sit there. So I'm just going to max speed this out. It is armed with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's armed with 15 cannons. We have more. Now, I think its armor is better. But, obviously, it has the advantage it can move. We can't, so we're just generally cheaper. They've just lost, oh, a lot of weaponry on the front there. Well, the top facing forward. How are we doing? We're burning through ammo like crazy. We also have a couple of fires. We've lost the bottommost portion of guns. And obviously I should point out that at the moment we're still even haven't fired the... Oh god, is that a mobile? It is a mobile. So in a campaign setting, that's dead anyway. If you're playing the Conquest mode. Alright. Yeah, so it hasn't even got close to try and fend off against our mortars. Right, okay. I mean, obviously, the things that are going to defeat us would be boarding vessels, and we'll try that in a moment because, well, completeness. But there we go. They were nearly 2,000 points over, and we have, I think, won that very comfortably. Very comfortably. Let's go with a building. It's going to be the U, and we'll put that in there, followed by our airship, and... Right. Time to bring out the big guns. Let's go with a Sparrowhawk. Sparrowhawk, and have we got an airship about the 200 mark? Bombard of Doom's pretty good. Put that in there. They're a little bit overpointed, but we're starting the fight. We also have light from the east means shots fired from left to right are less accurate, so we are less accurate. Fair enough. So this is the boarding vessel. You may have seen the Sparrowhawk in previous videos. You may not have, but basically this is what it does. It charges super quick towards us. It immediately gets shot in the middle, apparently. Splits in half. And it does nothing for the rest of the game. That is not my normal experience with the Sparrowhawk. Oh no, it has done what's needed to do, look. That's an explosion. That's a very nice explosion as well. And it's their ship, which is always better. So there's borders. There was borders. Okay. So sadly, the only... Oh no, we've won. I was going to say, sadly, the only... Yeah, the only thing we have shooting at that vessel there was the 2 rifles. Okay. Let's try maybe one more fight. We'll put the U in. And airship. Do we have a bomber? I mean, the Bluebird, I think we'd be able to take out. Do we have a bomber? Yes, we do. Of course it is. It's the Gull. So, they have the Herring Gull. And it's a high-level bomber, which apparently is descending. That wouldn't be my course of action in that thing. I would take it further up and dodge, but then, you know, that's what the AI's decided. It means the bombs don't have far to travel. So I know where it's going to sit. It's going to sit there. Right where the mouse is, probably. That's where our dead zone is. Although, no, it wouldn't. It has to fly right over the top. It has to, right? Here's the bombs. Yep, there it is. And, oh, it's sitting in a very good position for it. It's in our dead zone. Yeah, we have an arc of fire that is exceptionally limited around here. And I think that's going to easily win. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is absolutely plastered. The structure. All right. Yeah. I get what's happened here. If it lost its suspension for just a moment, we'd be able to get a good volley off, but no, sadly not. And then it just and now it just doesn't care. It's just going right above us. And although our aerial torpedoes, sorry, the aerial charges are causing considerable damage. I don't think it's going to help though because they are getting taken out. But all we need is one of their bombs to blow up. We're no longer in command. Aerial charges are still going off. There was a fire, and oh yeah, okay, that's game over now. 2 more aerial charges. Oh, they are losing. Oh, hang on. They've decided that altitude is their friend now, which is a fair point. Rifles are still hitting them, so I mean, you know, we're not doing terrible. There's still rifles shooting at it. I mean, we've been on a very very slimming diet for this structure. It has very much changed shape, but we've still got some fight left in us. Not much fight, considering I think the last ammo store has just blown up. And we have caused a considerable amount of damage to them, and they're about to lose. Oh, did we just Death Star ourselves? No, we didn't. Hang on. The bottom's gone. And there we go. We don't have any weapons, neither do they. Well, they actually do. They just can't bring them to bear because they have no propulsion or loft capability. That's a curious fight, that one. Okay. We're going to leave it there for now. That's been with Airships Conquer the Skies and the U. I think this has potential to be pretty good. Again, limited testing, only one thing versus another thing. We don't have... Well, actually, no, they did have a couple of airships and ground ships together and other things. But the point I'm trying to make is that we've tested this in isolation. What would improve this? Well, there is a definite dead zone about here. If you sit there, you get shot off. You don't get shot off the rear rifles, but you only get shot off these two. So what could be of some decent change is to remove some of these mortars and go with deck guns. That's going to require a bit of a change. If I was, for example, to place deck guns at the 4, what would that look like? Deck guns. 1, 2. So then that would also give us another dead zone. I'm going to have a think about that, and I'd like to know what you think too, because this has potential. I guess... Oh, can we even use deck guns is the question. No. No, we cannot. We don't have the technology. This is tier 1 technology we've gone through across the board. Cannons, mortars, grenades, muskets, rifles, ballistas. And aerial charges. Okay. I do think potentially, like, if we just place cannons... No, cannons up there would provide us with... would give us the same problem. So trebuchet at the top. No, perhaps not. Yeah, I'm gonna have a think about that one, and I'd like to know what you think too. What could be there too? What could we do to improve it? Like I say, there is a definite dead zone around this area. Obviously, the rear rifles have definitely been a good addition. These ones at the front are good too. I could add another one in here without any great difficulty. Potentially, I could put a couple more here as well, but that wouldn't really affect that. As I said, could have a think about that one. If we had deck guns, then that would be brilliant. If we had access to all technology, then pretty much front turrets, I think. What's the arc of a front turret? The arc is pretty good. I could even use... I mean, I couldn't use flak cannons because they're tier 2, but ideally that's what you want. A few flak cannons in this design, and it's going to be up there with a very useful one. Bombard, even then, is pretty good too. Either way, we're going to call it there for now. That's been with Airships Conquer the Skies. Hope you have enjoyed this little build and the little tryouts. If you have any tips, comments, suggestions for the U or other designs and anything you would like to see in general, then pop them in the comments. As always, hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.